Hey guys, it's Caroline at White Wolf Mystic. So I'm going to go ahead and do the November reading for the zodiac signs. Before I jump into the reading for the specific signs, I want to just briefly touch on what's going to be going on this month, astrologically speaking, and the energies that we'll be working with. If you don't want to watch this, feel free to just view the timestamps below and jump to your reading, okay? So basically, we are in Scorpio season right now. We'll be in Scorpio season until the 22nd of November. So Scorpio season is represented by the Death card in tarot. So if you look closely, this card is really about endings. It's a crossing. It's Mercury retrograde, y'all. I can't atone for any, mistakes of speech I may make. So it's a crossing over of a threshold. And so it's not just death in terms of physical death. It's death of a season, right? We're moving into the end of autumn, into winter. We're also shedding projects that may have been started at the beginning of the year. They're coming to a conclusion. On the other side of death is always rebirth. So it is a growth period. It is the conclusion right before a new beginning, right? And here we have in the background this gate or portal here in the back, which is leading to illumination and a fresh start, right? So whatever we are shedding in Scorpio season or letting go of or growing out of is making space for a new birth and illumination. And one of my favorite death cards of all the decks I work with is this one from the Shadowscapes Tarot, because it shows a phoenix, right? In order to become a stronger, more powerful animal, he has to burn up into flames and then reduce himself to ashes so that he can grow out of the ashes into something new and stronger and more powerful, okay? So that is kind of the phase we're all going through in Scorpio. It is a time of reflection, of turning inward, spending time with family. With this Mercury retrograde, Mercury gestation retrograde on October 31st, it'll be retrograde until the 20th of November. It's really a time to not focus so much on the external world and on productivity, and more focusing on the internal world and reflecting on our values, what's important to us, tapping into our psychic abilities, because Mercury retrograde is in Scorpio. So Scorpio is all about psychic abilities, psychological depth, healing, emotional healing, and just uncovering what's been hidden or hiding so that it can be healed, okay? And then we have Neptune stationing direct towards the end of this month, and that is going to bring about whatever intuitive development we've been working on this month. It's going to heighten that, and we'll be able to process things a little bit more clearly in terms of intuition goes, because Neptune is also the planet of delusion. So some things may be brought to light during this Mercury retrograde and when Neptune stations direct, so that we can proceed forward the rest of the year and going into next year with heightened intuitive abilities and a stronger sense of faith, okay? So for these readings, I am feeling called to go with a more Halloween theme, since I am recording this on Halloween, and we have Samhain, All Hallows Eve, and the Day of the Dead over the next few days. So I'll be doing these readings with some more Halloween themed cards. I'm going to be using the Everyday Witch Tarot with this, as well as the Halloween Tarot, and then some other oracle cards. And I will post below in the comments or in the description the names of all of these cards that I'll be using. Okay, so let's get started. Hey fire signs, let's go ahead and do your reading for November. I am going to start with Aries. So let's see what Aries is transforming in the month of November, because Scorpio season is all about transformation. So what is Aries transforming in November? Respect. All right, let me pull another card to see what specifically this has to do with. What does transforming respect have to do with for Aries? All right, we have the Lady. This is a card of femininity. This could have to do with a specific woman in your life that perhaps hasn't been respecting you, or you haven't been respecting. I'm definitely seeing that we're looking at our roles with women. If you are a female, however you identify as a feminine, we are looking at femininity. If you are a male or you identify as a masculine and you're watching this video, that I'm seeing that, we are reassessing femininity and our roles and relationships with divine feminines, and respect and what that means in that context. So let's take a look. Let me get some more tarot cards to clarify. Okay, I have the Judgment card. And with this, I'm actually getting, this is a card of liberation. I'm also getting literal judgment with this. So, this could be self-respect if you've been too hard on yourselves for not living up to your expectations. Maybe it's time that you stop engaging in that behavior and give yourself the respect and love that you need. If there is a feminine in your life that you've been having issues with, that perhaps we haven't been paying respect to, or there's been an imbalance in respect, I'm seeing that we are letting go of judgment and criticism this month, and we are stepping more into honoring each other. I'm also now just getting this may be competition between females. If there is some gossip or competition going on as well, it's letting go of judgment and criticism and just honoring each other, honoring that we are all here with our sacred gifts and our sacred roles, and to let go of gossip or chatter or envy, okay, with women in our lives. It's a very specific message coming through for Aries. All right, let me pull a few more tarot cards. Okay. So I have two knights here. I have Knight of Pentacles and Knight of Wands. So there's definitely a conflict here. And I'm seeing this as a conflict between two people or a situation. There's, Knight of Wands, which might be you, Aries. This is a very fiery, very passionate energy. Perhaps you have a lot of conviction. This could even be, ego or impatience. And then we have this Knight who is an earth sign, right? This is a Capricorn, Virgo, or Taurus, someone who is much more grounded and stable, who is more patient and approaches things more slowly, from a more gradual way. So I'm seeing a conflict of energies. And with this, I'm getting, both are knights in their own right. Both are extremely talented and they have their own gifts, but we can't make this stable, grounded knight become more fiery and passionate. We can't make this fiery, passionate knight be more grounded and, calm or emotionally reserved, right? It's just, they're different. So when it comes to femininity or females in your life or yourself, it's respecting that we bring different things to the table. We all have our own unique gifts. It's not that one is better than the other. They're just different, right? And they're talented and gifted in their own different and unique ways. And so we're letting go of judgment, because if we don't, I'm seeing this conflict or this situation is just going to go to a not so good place. And we have to let go. We have to surrender our expectations of how things should be, and instead honor our unique individual traits, okay? Being willing to see people differently. I like how I did that. Here we have these two knights that are like, their backs are to each other, and we need to just space each other, right? Maybe somebody needs to make an offering. Maybe somebody needs to apologize, or maybe somebody needs to, make a suggestion, or maybe there's a collaboration in the near future. But in order to do that, we have to eliminate the judgment. We have to find a way to meet on common ground. Okay, so that's a very specific message. It may not resonate with all of you Aries out there, but there's definitely some conflict going on, and it's a kind of judgmental energy, or believing that things need to be a certain way, and then again perhaps some competition or gossip. This could just be gossip. It may not be women in your life. Perhaps you're a male and you're watching this and you're having conflict with another male. This could just be, gossip, or a lack of compassion and intuition, which are feminine qualities. So just honoring the differences in other people is how you'll regain respect and show respect for other people and their differences. Okay, advice from Spirit. Okay, believe in the impossible. So with this, I'm getting that it is, you know, no matter how different two people might be or situation might be, it is possible to come together and to collaborate. Sometimes opposites attract. And that's how the greatest harmony can be reached. It's balancing the yin and yang, right? The earth with the fire. This could be a healthy partnership for you, Aries, if you are thinking about starting a project. And you Aries are really great at getting inspired to start new projects, but not always so great at finishing them because your energy burns out very quickly. And so this could be a beautiful partnership because this earth sign person, or this earth energy, could really take the ideas of your project and carry them through to completion. Okay, so it's believing in the impossible, that opposites can get along, people with different backgrounds can get along and create something beautiful, right? Final message from Spirit. Truth transcends illusion. And here we have 2 twos. Twos are the number of collaboration and connection. So with this, what I'm getting is, you know, this 10 of Swords, this like break, this ending. It doesn't have to be this way. I'm saying there is an option. You can find a way to come together and to collaborate by releasing judgment. And that can actually lead to a possible beautiful relationship if you're in a relationship with someone like this, or a creative collaboration, you know, because 2s are all about connection and collaboration. It's a very spiritual number. And so trusting that opposites can attract, believe in the impossible. And as Humphrey Bogart says at the ending of Casablanca, right? I believe this is the beginning of a beautiful friendship. So trusting that there's a reason why the 2 of you are together or you're in this situation, and respecting each other and honoring each other, letting go of judgment. Okay, that is the reading for Aries. Moving on to Leo. All right, Leo, what do we have going on for you? What are we transforming in November? Strength. I love that this card came through for you guys. The Strength card in the tarot is the significator card for Leo. So where are we transforming our strength? We have the Sickle. This is a card of endings, of breakups, of cutting loose what is no longer serving. It is a card of reaping as well, but I'm seeing what Leo may need to do in order to create greater strength from within. You might have to let go of something. You might have to cut something out of your life, okay? So let's take a look at that. Pull a tarot card. All right, we have Knight of Pumpkins. This is Knight of Pentacles in the traditional tarot deck. This is actually a card of planting seeds so that there can be a harvest. So with this, I'm actually getting, you know, this could be a card of harvesting, you know, taking the sickle and harvesting what you've planted. Let me pull some further tarot clarifiers to go with that. Yeah, here we have 4 plus 6 is 10. And then we have 10 here again. 10s are ending of cycles, 10s are completion. So I'm getting that we are at the end of a cycle in November for Leos. And it's going to be about harvesting all the seeds that you've planted this past year. So I have the Hanged Man. This is a card of new perspectives. He also has here in his hand, I don't know if you can see, the key that can unlock him from these shackles, right? So he's put himself in these shackles in order to gain a different perspective, but now he can let himself out. He can unlock himself. So I'm seeing that that's how we're growing and becoming stronger this month is, you know, you've planted some seeds in this field here, and now we are cultivating them. We're at the end of a cycle. And so now it's a matter of freeing yourself. Because we have Queen of Wands, and I love this card because she's like, here she has this bouquet of flowers, right? And this is what you are harvesting. Flowers represent love, beauty. They represent friendship, peace offering. So that could be literally what you're harvesting. But this is a card of victory as well. She's wearing red. Red is a card of conviction, of passion, of love, of ambition and assertiveness. So I'm seeing that this is how we have grown stronger, right? Because we now get to harvest everything that we've planted. And this is a card of joy, of celebration, of friends coming together. So I'm seeing that there may be some victories in November for Leos. You know, you're going to start to see, now that we're in this completion cycle, you're going to start to see your hard work bearing fruit. You're going to start to harvest this month, and it's going to be cause for celebration and time to just enjoy the cultivation of all the hard work you've put in this past year or the years prior to this one, and recognizing how far you've come and how these experiences have made you stronger. So definitely really, really positive energy coming through for Leos in November. Spending time with family. You know, family is extremely important to Leo. Leo is very loyal to their loved ones, and so I'm seeing that it's going to be a time to spend with your loved ones in celebration of your successes and accomplishments this month. All right, so let's close out with a reading from, or a message from Spirit. Okay. Work through your fears. All right, so the only thing I see with this, you know, the sickle, again, is a card of ending. So we might need to cut out some things that are no longer serving in order to leave room for this joyous celebration energy. Look at all these chakra colors too. It's really pretty. So working through your fears. And then as we're harvesting, you know, we may be harvesting some really great, beautiful opportunities. And maybe there might be some resistance because you may have some issues with self-worth perhaps. And as you start to see the fruits of your labor, of this completion cycle starting to present themselves, you may be like, oh, or maybe you'll be challenged to go out of your comfort zone in order to accept an award or some recognition for the work you've put in. And so you're going to have to work through that, Leo. It's the only like caveat I see to this whole reading. But even then it's positive because it's like encouraging you, reassuring you that you are worthy and that there's good things coming your way. Last message from Spirit. Time to collaborate. Time to collaborate. Okay, so that could be what this card is about as well. Collaborating with your social networks or people in your social groups on creative projects. There may still be some creative collaboration that may come to the forefront. Yeah, because this is a number 1, so we're like moving out of the 10, the completion, and moving into new beginnings. We actually have a lot of 3s. This is a 3 of cups. So creativity and self-expression may be emphasized as well this month, but I'm seeing, you know, we're seeing the fruits of our labor this month. There may be some new opportunities on the horizon to collaborate, but ultimately it's going to be a month of celebration. You're going to get some validation of your strength, how much you've grown. You'll see some cultivation of the seeds that you've planted this month. But definitely, you know, celebrate, spend time with people you care about, and yeah, celebrate how far you've come. Okay, that is Leo. Last but not least, Sagittarius. All right, Sagittarius. What are you guys transforming in November? In Scorpio season. What are we transforming? And then soon to be Sagittarius season, right? End of the month. Okay. So here we have ruminate. This is a card of reflection. This is a number 9. So 9s are coming to completion of a cycle. That makes a lot of sense because since we're entering into Sagittarius, that's like a beginning of a new year for you. So I see as we're approaching the beginning of a new year for you, we're going to be spending a little bit of time in reflection. What specifically does that have to do with? The garden. So this card is about our community, our social groups, networking, the places where we go to converse with others, communication. This is just a really friendly, like, social card. So I'm seeing we may be spending some more time with friends this month. Ruminating with friends. I don't know. Let's see what specifically that's about. I mean, maybe you are a deep thinker. I mean, Sagittarius does tend to be a deep thinker, so maybe we're having some deep philosophical conversations with friends this month, but that's a little specific. So let me pull some cards to see specifically what's going on. Okay. We have Knight of Imps. This is Knight of Wands. Knight of Wands is a card of passion, of perseverance, of impatience. It is a card of, following our passion. I just said that already. Pursuing your higher calling. What I am getting with this is perhaps we don't want to be in this rushing energy, even though that may be the tendency. So maybe think before you speak or act, because there is this tendency to want to be impulsive. And with this card, it's like, consider it first. Consider what it is that you want to do or say. Take a moment to pause and reflect first, especially in our social interactions. So let me pull a few more tarot cards to go with that. So we have 5 of Cups. So perhaps we are reflecting on something that we said or did impulsively, right? Maybe that's what this rumination is about, and it may have taken place at an event in the not too distant past, or in our social groups, or with our friends, and maybe we were a little too hot off the handle. So we're now looking back on, okay, did I mean to say that? Could I have said that more tactfully? Was I too impulsive? Did I jump the gun a little bit too much? A little too quickly is what I mean to say. And then we have the Death card. So what this means is, not literal death, but cutting a cord to something. Let me pull a couple more clarifying cards to see what specifically that is referring to. Obviously, we have some grief here. We may be letting go of a situation or an individual because perhaps we acted out of ego and we burned a bridge, or maybe somebody else was just acting out of ego and we decided, you know what, we need to burn that bridge. Because literally, he's cutting the rope. The Death card is cutting the rope, cutting the tie to something that is causing too much grief, right? Let me pull another card. Okay. Yeah, so we've got heartbreak here, and we have sorrow. So there's definitely something that's coming to an end this month, or has come to an end recently for you, Sagittarius. And I see we're still reflecting on that. And again, something having to do with our social groups, or a community. Perhaps it was a partner, but they were a part of your community and it's somehow having a ripple effect. But definitely getting ego and impatience here may have caused this break. Someone is just being selfish, not being considerate of the other person. I would say this could be the other person involved, Sagittarius, since you're the one in this sorrow and heartbreak state. Okay. So we had the Death card. Something is coming to a close. Doesn't mean that a relationship with the person per se or a situation is going to come to complete finality. It could just be that it needs to be reborn into something new for it to flourish. But whatever it was, whatever this, you know, selfish, arrogant energy is, it's got to go. It just has to go. Cut that rope. And then we have the Empress. The Empress is a card of love. Empress is Venus. So this could be a love relationship. It's also self-expression and creativity. So what I am seeing from this is that this situation was really draining you of your creativity. It was preventing you from being your fullest, highest, most best self, because all your energy was being drained by the situation, trying to make it right. And it was causing you to compromise your creative abilities. I still want to pull a few more cards to get more clarity as far as what's going on with this before I get messages from Spirit. Okay, so we have Four of Imps, which is Four of Wands. This is often viewed as a twin flame connection card. So for those of you that were in twin flame situations, this may be specifically what's coming to a close or what needs to shift in order for things to flourish again. We have the Hierophant, which is about our personal beliefs. It's about traditions. It's also a card of marriage. So something is coming to an end here. It could be our beliefs about marriage need to shift and make way for something to survive and thrive. But as things have been, this selfish energy, impatient or arrogant energy, this is what's got to go. This is what has to go in order for there to be renewal. Okay, so again, maybe we are challenging our spiritual beliefs. We need to move away from tradition and innovate for something to thrive again, but something has to die for us to get back into our self, into our belief in love, into our creativity and our self-expression. Something has to die in order for there to be rebirth. Okay, and whether that's a rebirth into a new cycle of your current situation, or whether it's a final death so that there can be a new situation with a new person or a new circumstance, but there is going to be some healing involved. So just being extra kind with yourself, Sagittarius, taking time to process things and to think on things, because I'm seeing maybe this sever hasn't happened yet, or it needs to happen and you need some time to think about it, or to think about what approach you want to take going forward, or what you want to offer, or what kind of conflict resolution you want to suggest, because something has to change. Something has to change in order to get back to this joyous celebration energy and this creative energy, right? Something is dying on the vine and it needs to be plucked in order for there to be new growth, new creativity. All right, so let me close out with a couple of final messages from Spirit. Prosperity lies ahead. Okay, I love that. Taurus, this is also the significator card of Taurus in the tarot deck. So maybe you have a Taurus specific in your life that this has to do with. And so there will be a new cycle. Once you work through this death cycle, there will be a renewal. I feel like this card is also referencing this creativity and festivity and celebration. So there is new growth on the horizon, and it's going to lead to a more abundant, more prosperous, more fulfilled you. You just have to process what is dying or no longer serving and cut that out. Cut that out so that there can be new growth. Okay. So one last message from Spirit for Sagittarius. Okay. Take the lead. Take the lead. All right. So with this, I'm actually getting a bit of a power imbalance because whoever the other person is in this situation has been the one in charge and calling all the shots. Again, it's like a very arrogant, selfish energy, and now it's time for you to take the lead. So whether you've been waiting for this person or this situation, you know, if you've been waiting for this person to own up to something or to make an effort or to try and make a change, I'm saying that's not going to happen. The person that's got to cut this cord is you. You have to be the one to take the lead now, you know, to express your beliefs or what it is that the change that you want to see going forward. It's your job to take charge now because you've given your power away to this person or this situation. And if you want to see change, you know, if you want new growth in order to flourish again, you got to take charge. You got to speak up. Okay? It's on you, Sagittarius, to bring about the change that you want to see in this situation. All right, so that is the end of the November reading for fire signs. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.